Coming up on Flowing into Awareness with Master Intuitive Anatara. What is forgiveness? What does it mean to forgive? Is it easy for you to forgive another? Here are some possible approaches you might want to consider. This and more coming up next as we celebrate our new platform here on YHTV. This week's episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host for this program. And today's topic is, what is forgiveness? And here is the beautiful Anatara.
You are always so gracious, Christina. I love it when you welcome me to the show. Thank you.
But you are the beautiful Anatara
I
that sheds
appreciate
light
that.
on our lives.
Yes, and on my own as well.
I love it.
Oh,
Oh.
so forgiveness.
Hmm.
It's hard sometimes to know where to start with something as broad spectrum as the concept of forgiveness.
Yes.
And I would say that we live so much of our existence wondering whether someone should forgive us, wondering how we can forgive someone else for having done something to us that felt mean or nasty or horrible or demeaning or dismissive. And especially in relationship, there is so much that comes up that one feels one needs to forgive frequently, in most relationships. The theme of forgiveness
You
is pretty
think?
big. And it's not just for any of the larger, points of disarray, such as I don't know, having an affair with someone or even flirting with someone else. But in relationship, we tend to be in the middle of working with our deepest feelings. And often if we are misunderstood, it feels like someone has done something very cruel to us, and therefore we are thinking, maybe if I forgive this person, I will feel better. I will feel free. Or we think to ourselves, in order to get along, I need to forgive this other person so that I can step forward. I can feel better. So forgiveness is often used as a touch phrase for, if you forgive someone, then you will feel better. If you forgive someone, then you will be free of whatever it was that they did to you. And then as well, we are frequently looking for others to forgive us. I really didn't mean to, create that trespass. I didn't mean to not pay attention to you. I didn't mean to ignore you. I didn't mean to say this awful thing to someone else about you. So would you please forgive me? And what I want to say about forgiveness is this. When we live locked into the space of feeling that we must forgive someone for something, it's hard to get out of that loop of feeling that keeps us believing that there's something to forgive. It keeps us in that loop of feeling that says that was a really horrible thing that happened. And it draws attention to that. It keeps us focused on what the awfulness was rather than on what we could do to feel differently about each other or to see each other in a more complete and more whole life. So there are many ways that we are taught forgiveness, how to forgive people as starting at when we're children. Oh, your friend took your toy. It's okay. You can forgive them. They didn't mean to. Sometimes people really do mean to do something. And it still puts us in a place that it would be handy if we could truly forgive them. So What I
Mm.
feel about forgiveness, and I really in my adult life and in my professional life, I have done a lot sort of trying to run away and not run away from and not use the word forgiveness. It's not really running away from it. I was trying to find a different way to define what I felt forgiveness was all about,
Mm.
because of what I was describing, that we feel locked into forgiveness. We feel locked in when we think we have something to forgive someone else about. So to me, what I've come to understand about forgiveness is that when we actually use those words, I forgive you, what we are actually saying is, I want to give back to you the feelings around and the result of whatever your behavior is that made me think that I would like to forgive you. And I want you to own that. I want you to take that and do anything that you want with it. But I'm finished with feeling that I need to forgive you. I'm finished. It's more like I'm finished feeling that what you did can hurt me, that what you did can be taken on by me. I'm choosing to respond in a different way, which is to give that action to you because it's yours, because you did it. Because those were your feelings that were expressed when you created the event that hurt me and made me feel like I needed to forgive you. So this is sort of a little complicated, but it really isn't. When we stand in our own center and we say, I accept that this individual did something hurtful, and yet I realize that that wasn't mine. It wasn't necessarily just directed at me. It was because that person was living in a symptom of some sort of confusion of their own, which allowed them to create the event that made me hurt, and in traditional terms, makes me want to forgive them. So, what I'm really saying is, can we all be more magnanimous in a way? Can we all rise above that need to be stuck in that interplay between each other of I forgive you, I don't forgive you, I want to forgive you, you need to forgive me, whatever the thoughts and the words are, and come to a place where we accept that something happened and that we're not going to stick around and let that be given to us anymore. We're going to take a step out of how directed that feels at us and say, I'm different than that. I don't need that. I don't need to feel that you have wronged me anymore. I don't need to feel that you did it because you hated me. I understand that you were in some sort of state of being and state of mind that created an action and an interaction, and that I don't need that anymore. That you don't need me to receive that in that way anymore. Many times when I explain this to people, they'll say to me, "But that's not fair. That lets that person off the hook. They don't have to take any responsibility for what they did. And I've been so wronged, and I feel so terrible about it and by it and from it that I can't let them off the hook." And if you truly cannot let someone off the hook, you are at the same time keeping yourself in that very, sort of demoralizing and deep ensconcement in something that's negative, in something that keeps you caught. You can't be free. You can't get up and get going and say, I'm okay. I'm okay no matter what went on with that other person.
Mm.
Is this clear?
Yes, I mean, I do believe that what you're saying is very clear. This topic of forgiveness is very deep and
Mhm.
multi-layered, but at its simplest form, if I can say that, simplest
Yes.
form, um, what I'm hearing you say is truly, for me, it's empowering oneself. What I'm hearing is
is it's how we as individuals choose to perceive and um, look at the situation with acceptance, with openness, with loving kindness. Because, however, that might have hurt or the situation might have hurt, the approach that you have shared is truly about ourself, like oneself,
Exactly.
and how we choose to move in our life. This is such a beautiful broad subject, Anatara, and I would love to do a separate show on self forgiveness, because I feel that that is the base of who we are as individuals, and it truly is the base of um, forgiveness. It seems always so external. Like I was brought up in the as a Catholic, so everything was about forgiveness all growing up, right? But to turn, when one day I do believe a mentor turned it around and said, to be able to forgive, you have to forgive yourself. And that struck a chord that was so deep. But they though it falls under forgiveness, um, they are in their own realms, so to say. And what I've heard you say today is so beautiful, because you are empowering the individual. And from that point, how do we continue to manifest that?
Absolutely. And I think that perhaps even the next show that we're going to do in a few weeks is about what I'm calling the fathomless, I can't remember the exact title, but the fathomless experience of self-love. So
Oh,
it's it's the same
wee, that's deep.
really deep. It's fathomless and different a bit than unfathomable. The what you're saying is so appropriate. And you are explaining how you're understanding what I'm trying to address here. The the beauty of this approach to forgiveness is that we spend a lot of time, and I've mentioned this before, running scenarios in our head. Well, if you hadn't done this, then I wouldn't need to think this. If you hadn't done this horrible thing to me, or this horrible thing to us, or to the earth, or to my child, or whoever it might be, then I wouldn't have to have this thought about you all the
Mm.
time.
Action,
And what
reaction.
Exactly. And so
Mm.
what if your thoughts don't have to be on that in quote horrible thing? What if you can say, I understand that you are who you are, and you took a step, made an action, said something that was the result of what you were focused on, not what I was focused on. And I am no longer available to literally take on your crap. I'm not here to do that anymore. I could have used a different word.
No, I like that word.
You know, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I am freeing myself by allowing you to be who you are,
Mhm,
whether I agree with it, like it, or support it or not.
mhm, mhm.
You don't
Yes,
you don't have to you don't have to change your perspective more than just to understand that we're all lovable. We're all who we are.
yes, yes. To agree to disagree.
Definitely, definitely.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much, Anatara, for this another beautiful moment of flowing into awareness. And of course, we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here on this platform, on our new Yoga Hub platform, and you'll see why in the weeks to come. And of course, we really appreciate your continuous support, and we would love to hear from you. Now, with each one of these shows, you can actually leave a comment, and we will definitely respond to it. You can call us on our phone line, 818 Let's Talk, if you have a question. Just make sure to leave your contact information so we can get back to you. And maybe you have a thought of what you would love to hear from Anatara. Maybe there's a topic that you have in mind that you or a loved one might have. We are very open and would love to hear from you. Now you can contact Anatara through Twitter at Anatara, through her Facebook, Master Intuitive, and through her website, anatara.ca. Anatara.ca. Again, please join us also on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook. We have lots of wonderful, exciting things coming up this year as we have made many changes here at Yoga Hub, and we would love you to join us and as we grow our community. And let's keep this going and flowing together as a big village. Thank you so much, and namaste.